I want to go where Cindy was found.
The favela isn't exactly a tourist destination.
Well, I'm not your regular tourist.
Brazil has the largest Japanese population outside of Japan. Yakuza, they lie low. They've been here since the 70s.
Get the cops over here. Tell them not to radio it in.
Wait a second. What are you going to do until they get there?
Taking the scene.
I was afraid of that.
In the new movie Falcon Rising, Michael Jai White is John Falcon Chapman, an ex-Marine who travels to exotic lands to battle bad guys, all in the name of justice. Welcome back to Arise on Screen. White is one of the few black Hollywood action stars. We're happy to welcome Michael Jai White to Arise on Screen. Michael, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me now, I've read that this is the action role you've been waiting your whole life to play. Explain to me, what do you mean?
Well, yeah, I've played up until now a lot of roles that were kind of bigger than life, you know, a little bit, you know, out there. Well, you've
Just
got
a bit.
Spawn, you've got even Tyson, you've got Black Dynamite. These movies are, you know, they're cool, but they're characters that, well, except for Tyson, not really based in reality. This is a movie that intends to have me use actually, you know, myself more. You know, I get to play you know, kind of like
A badass.
well, you know, I don't want to say it like that, but I get to play a human being, you know, play to the strengths. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, you know, I human being, and this is being I play a combat veteran. I get to play a real life hero, as far as I'm concerned. I think to bring attention to what the combat veterans that come back from being
And what they're dealing with.
What they're dealing with. I think that's a very responsible thing that the filmmakers did, and I'm really honored to be able to play this.
Well, let me ask you, you're an actor, but you're also a writer and a producer. How much input did you have to creating this character and the screenplay and your character itself?
Well, quite a bit. It was a real collaborative type of team. I was working with the director, Ernie Barbarash, and he has a theater background, but he also has done a number of Van Damme movies. He does action. So, like me, he's kind of eclectic, you know. So it was a really great meeting of the minds, and so, you know, it was really fun working atmosphere.
Okay. Well, you're also a martial artist, and I'm curious, you know, what your workout regimen is. You know, you're 6 feet tall, like 190 pounds. It's not easy to stay in shape like that. So how has martial arts helped you as an actor, and what is your workout regime?
Well, I mean, I used to be 6 foot tall, 190 pounds. That's when I was 13.
Oh, okay, okay.
But I work out. I mean, it was just kind of a way of life for me with martial arts. I do several styles, and it's something I always do, and it's one of those things where if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, right? So in this situation, the thing I really had to work on was I wanted to get my knowledge of what was going on with the PTSDs, with our soldiers, and then I wanted to really go through a lot of the combative training, as far as, you know, the firearms and what have you.
Okay. And what was your biggest challenge in this role?
Well, I had to really learn what the nature of PTSD was, and I learned that everybody's different. You know, it's about you responding to certain stimulus that you can't get out of your brain. Now, whether that be the loss of a loved one or some kind of a traumatic experience you had, or some kind of a fear, it just keeps arising. So everyone doesn't have the same kind of reaction. Yeah.
Sure.
And so, I mean, I have a brother-in-law who drastically changed when he came back. Yeah. So it touched my family directly.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let me ask you, you were talking about playing heroes before. You played the first African-American comic book hero committed to film, Al Simmons in Spawn. And since then, you know, this genre has taken off. What are your thoughts on that? Why do you think superhero movies have become what they are now versus back in '97?
Well, I think, you know...
And where's the sequel?
Well, I wish I could control that.
Okay.
I mean, hey, I'm producing more. Maybe I will throw my hat in there. But I think it's just one of those things. I mean, especially guys. I mean, we are always kids. I don't care if we're 90 years old. There's a kid in us. And what kid does not want to be a superhero? You know?
Well, I agree. Well, now you were almost born to play a superhero because from what I hear, you used to seek out bullies and beat them up when you were young. So.
Well, yeah, that was a weird thing. I mean, which made me kind of the king of the bullies, which was a strange thing. But yeah, I mean, I had this thing. I was a very sensitive kid, and I used to focus a lot of my, hostility toward people who did other people wrong. That hasn't really changed. I get infuriated when people. When people pick on other people, it's still to this day, I'm still that kid. And so for me to put myself in these type of roles as somebody who, has this belief system that, they'll die by, that's not a far trek. You know what I mean? I was basically a day away from the police academy before I got my first big acting role on stage. Okay. And then I had trained to be a reserve cop, years after that. So it kind of was in my blood anyway. Still is.
All right. Well, before you go, a lot of female fans know you from the Tyler Perry movies. Why Did I Get Married? Why Did I Get Married To? And you play the same character, Marcus Williams, on TV. Are we going to see more of that? And what do you like about doing comedy?
Well, yeah, I love it because I'm an eclectic guy. I know sometimes it throws people off because they go, there's Spawn, there's Black Dynamite, then there's Why Did I Get Married and that type of stuff. Well, it's all me. It's all different parts. And people that really know me know me as people are trying to get me to do stand-up half the time. Okay. It sounds hard to believe when you see me kicking somebody in the head. But it was my detriment growing up because nobody knew what shelf to put me on, but I'm making it work for me now.
All right, well, I can see it now. You do. Michael J. White, you better laugh. Okay. Well, thank you, Michael, for joining us here.
Well, thank you for having me.
And we'll be back.
When we return.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Identical!
Separated at birth, identical twin boys share a love of music. One finds fame, the other dreams of it. Ray Liotta, Ashley Judd, and Joe Pantoliano star in The Identical. Next on Arise on Screen.
And you are more than I ever dared pray for.